Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to talk about five palettes that are great for fall and 5 lipsticks that will go with them. I'm kind of inspired by Julia Adams, who did a video on more than 5 fall lipsticks, and Morgan Turner did something on best fall palettes. And you know, it's that time. It's not quite that time here, but it's going to be very quickly. I know in many places in the country and probably in Europe, it's getting a little bit cooler and it's time to make that segue. We actually are in fall right now. So says the calendar. So let's get started. When I did my ABH review, I was wearing this palette. This is the Safari palette from Natasha Denona. It's no longer available, but if you have it, this is the time to pull it out. What I love about this is the different color stories in here. You may know that Natasha Denona lays things out so you don't have to think too much. You can do all of this row. You could do diagonal. You can do 4 here, or 4 here. What I chose to do was the mustard, the orange, and the khaki-ish color. So I put the khaki just above. I didn't put it all over the lid. It was kind of what some people would say the transition, but I didn't really use it as a transition. Then I went and I did the mustard color on the lid, and I brought the khaki down here for a little bit of depth, and then underneath I went in with the orange for a little bit of unexpected brightness without being too editorial. And I've seen it done editorially, in an editorial fashion where it's quite strong, but it was more like, this is something I feel comfortable with wearing out, and I loved the look. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit more work, this palette, than for her other palettes, but the color story is beautiful and it's well worth it. For my lipstick on this day, I went in with a Rare Beauty matte. This is it. It's called Brave, and it's such an interesting color. It's a very comfortable lip, and it is perfect for fall. It's not a bright orange, but it's not a nude either. It just has enough depth to it, and this is pretty much the color. Brave. Wonderful, wonderful fall color for this palette and for many things. Another palette that many people should already have because it's so popular is the Soft Glam from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is just such a wonderful fall palette with a couple of color stories in it. So you can go in the warm orange zones, you could do something darker and cooler over here. There's a little bit of mauvey pinkiness over here, and really neutral right through here. You can put them all together. So this was the look that I put on for my Will I Buy It video, and I loved the look. I used the Patrick Ta blush in She's So LA, and I'll show you what the lip is, but this is what I used. And I think I started maybe here and went a little deeper with here, and I think I employed this one as well, and put together such a lovely, neutral, everyday kind of look where it doesn't look like nothing, but because the colors are so neutral, it doesn't look like a lot. I find oftentimes if you wear a lot of color, the perception is, oh, you're wearing a lot of makeup, when oftentimes you just do one shade that is a lot of color. It's not a lot of makeup. You might use 4 or 5 shades of this, but because it's so neutral, it just has a very nice, subtle look about it. So the Patrick Ta blush in She's So LA is also very neutral. When I first saw it, I thought, what's the point? It looks like a bronzer, but there is a slight pinkiness to it to make it look like it is actually blush. And for lip, I went in with this Giorgio Armani in 202, right here. And this is something I have not used in years because I thought it made me look dead, but you know what? Either I'm getting used to nudes or I found the perfect palette to wear this with, so it's just such a neutral but beautiful look. I was so happy. I was going to shoot two looks that day for this video, but I didn't want to take it off. So that is look 2, Soft Glam, Giorgio Armani 202. Now this one I did not shoot. I have a video on this and I will insert a couple of photos. This is KKW, and this might be on sale now because, as I understand it, she's rebranding. What I like about this palette is, again, there's a variety in here. You could just do greens, or you could go for these mustardy tones, which I love a mustard tone. You could just do browns over here. These two over here have almost a cool nature to them, but not quite. But they're missing that yellow. I don't really know how to describe it. But those are all great tones. Again, using all of them together, or a couple from each color story together, helps to build tension, or something monochromatic. The lipstick I wore this with, I feel positive was Elisa Eldridge, and I will write down below other makeup I'm wearing for all of these looks and what the lips are for this one. I'm not sure I remember, so I have to look this up. But Lisa Eldridge lipstick with this, and a fantastic look. Now for warm palettes, those are the palettes I'm seeing right now. My Will I Buy It, I found so many of them were warm, 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 and then the color was like navy blue. It's interesting that they're all kind of doing the same thing. If you want one of those, you know where to find this. But if you don't, this is the Warm Edit palette from Viseart. If you have crepey lids, you are going to love these. These are, they don't swatch really creamy, they swatch a little dry, but for some reason they blend like a dream, especially if you are crepey. So you don't have to worry about it skipping or looking patchy and there's a little spot here but there's nothing over here. They work like a dream, and if you like the fall colors, this is one that you need to have. If you already have this, it's been out for a few years, it's time to pull it out. I did that today, and I started with this light one, and then I think I went with this one for transition, and I deepened it up, I think with this one or this one. I pointed it out in all of them. Then I did this inner third and went a little bit darker, I think by the lash line with this one, and no, you know what I did? I did this one. I mean, I just shot this an hour ago and I still don't remember. Right here and over here. I am going to keep the footage of all of these because I realize that I'm talking so quickly, I'm not going to be able to show you exactly how I put together each look. If you want to see how I did each look, let me know and I will do a longer video, or maybe I'll break it up into 2 videos and show you which looks. So tell me which looks you like the best, and maybe I'll do 2 or 3 of them. So this is fantastic. Now, for the lips, I wanted to do 2 things. One, something opposite, so not a monochromatic look. And for that, I chose this Charlotte Tilbury, which is called Amazing Grace. It's no longer called Amazing Grace. So again, links below with a new name. Amazing Grace, boom. So when I first put it on, I did full opacity, and I didn't like it. It was just too much. I took it off, and there was just a hint of it left, and I thought, that's what I like. So just take a little bit on your finger, dab it on your lip, and you have a little bit of tension because it's an opposite, something cool with something warm, and I think it works really, really well in that way. But if you want to keep the look warm, this is the time to do your orange reds, or what I did. So this is MAC Chili. I'm not sure if it's still around. I think it is. Again, links. And here it is. It's kind of like a brick with brown and orange. And it's just unusual. People think it's one thing, but it's really not. It's really not a red. There's something else going on here. I love wearing this actually with something black, like a black turtleneck, and it's just the lip and a very, very neutral eye. But I think it goes with this incredibly well. And these are very comfortable lipsticks. Now again, all my blushes down below because the blushes really mattered in this case, and I thought about it, where usually I'm like, what blush do I have right here? This time, like, what blush is going to work? This is Pat McGrath Desert Rose, which is such an unusual color. So this bundle, warm, warm. And then for the final look, the look that I'm wearing right now, something berry, something cool. Now, of course, I just got the Natasha Denona, which I really enjoy, but this one you might already have. This is the Backstage palette in Rosewood Neutral. And one thing I really like about this palette, I think it's mixed what some people think, but this has that cream for a base, which is a really wonderful base. For some of the other things, I use the Clé de Peau for the base, but I went in with several colors for this, and yet it doesn't look like a complicated look. I think I started with this all over after I put this on, and then I went in with this for the crease, and then I deepened up with this one. I put this by the lash line on the inner 1/3, then I did this at the lash line, and then I did this at the lash line with a thinner brush and a little bit out here. And it's just a lovely palette that I don't turn to too much because to me, this is a fall palette. For lips, I did two things, and I'm wearing them both right now. The Victoria Beckham, the tag fell off, so I don't remember which one this is. I think it might be Bijou. Now online, this looks like there's like a raspberry color, but to me, on my lips, there's a lot of brown in here. You could do it quite sheer, as you will see in my inserts, or build it up for a darker look. It is a stain, it will stay with you for a long time, but if you want something more cushy, then you want this. I believe this is 408. You know what, I think it's 406. Again, links below. Same formula as this one. It's cushy, it's lovely. It's not going to stain your lips, but you really get full opacity, as you'll see in the footage that I'm going to be inserting here. And you guys, that is it. OMG, this is going to be a very short one, but I hope really helpful and give you some ideas of different ways you can go with lips and different palettes that you can use for fall. And I really tried to put it together so that all the colors were different. So this, many colors you can go, but what I did is this. So this is a khaki, and this is an orange, and this is a mustard, and I loved it. Here we have the cool berry look. With the Glam, we have a very neutral look, but the palette itself can offer you a couple of variations, and the khaki palette. Nice variety, good for most skin tones, and if one doesn't work for your skin tone, another one will, and some lip ideas, and blush ideas will be down below, and that is it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe, be smart, and I'm wishing you good health.